Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So Michigan will play Arkansas State Red Wolves this Saturday at 12. And shout out to Arkansas State. They donated some nice jerseys to one of my semi-pro teams when I was playing semi-pro. So shout out to them. But this game is about Michigan getting back on track. Like, you're licking your wounds right now after Texas, and you gotta figure it out on offense and defense. Defense, it shouldn't be as hard to figure out and get back on track, but offense, you got to get it. You got to figure it out. And one of the biggest problems is the identity. What's the identity of this Michigan team? Sharon, you preach smash all the time, but 3rd and 2, you're in 4 wide, 5 wide. That ain't smash. And it don't make sense with Davis Warren. He's not that. So why are you in 4 wide on 3rd and 2? So the thing that he has to do, or Sharon and Kurt, is they have to figure out the best way to move this offense. You might have had an idea before the season, but now that the season has started and you're 2 games in and the offense is abysmal, it's horrible, you have to look at your roster, look at the players that you have that are explosive or can help you move the ball and cultivate that offense around it. That's what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to start Davis Warren again. I wouldn't, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do, and this is a game for him to get his mojo. This is a game for the receivers, and the offense in general, the offensive line, to get their mojo before Big Ten play. Because if you don't figure it out before Big Ten play, you in trouble. I promise you. You in trouble. And everybody that's on this staff, you gonna be on the hot seat. Because if you don't get this offense together, the Big Ten schedule it was already brutal. But if you don't get the offense together, every game is a possible loss in the Big Ten. With this abysmal offense you put out there against Texas, the abysmal offense you put out there against Fresno. So that's just a fact. I don't care if people don't like it. That's just what it is. If Davis Warren is the starter, and if he's, to me, and this is my opinion, they might not do it. They might not. But if Davis Warren struggles in this game, you got to sit him down. Like, I get it. He's this, he's that, whatever. He's not good. If he ain't good, sit him down. Like, that's just, to me, it's quite simple. I got to sit him down because quarterback is unlike any other position in football because they don't get hit in practice. And there's so many things that to say why he's struggling or not that good or whatever you want to say. And the end of the day, it's just a fact. He's not that good. You know what I'm saying? His pocket awareness isn't that good. He's a deer in the headlights when the pass rush comes. Things like that. First locks on his first read. So you want to get him comfortable and hopefully be able to run the ball. It's time to get a consistent running game. You want to run for 200 on Arkansas State. You want to run for 200. Ain't no excuse to not run for 200 on them. You know what I'm saying? And Davis Warren, you should be highly efficient, and you should be able to pick them apart. Their defense isn't good, so you should be able to light them up. You know what I'm saying? It's time to see some efficient, effective offense this game. Like the offensive line, y'all shouldn't be struggling this game. Get your mojo back before you play USC. If you don't get it, if the offense doesn't find a way to click this game, it's really going to be a long season. Like, you really need to see some consistency and, okay, I see. Yeah. There we go. Go team. Yeah, that's what we like. Come on, offense, because these first two. It's embarrassing if I'm keeping honest. So get some consistency. But if he doesn't, if he doesn't look good, you better sit. Your best bet is to sit him down, Sharon Moore. That's your best bet if he's not looking good. He may look good, but if he doesn't, you gotta sit him down. Like it's just like I don't get it. You could have saw what you had in somebody else against Texas, but you wanted him to get some mojo. Okay, well let's see the mojo against Arkansas State. If he don't look good against Arkansas State, you need to play Orgy for a drive or two, or play Jaden Denegal for a drive or two, or whoever else. Like, it's just a fact. Like, you got to see what you got. And quarterbacks don't get hit in practice, so you don't know who might have some mojo. You don't really know who might have some dog in him. You don't know because you're not going to find it out in practice. So that's the big thing. Practice, the quarterback almost gets touched. They'll blow it dead. You don't know who might have some dog in him in some real fight. And honestly, and I was talking about this on my video on that live. I believe a lot of the team wanted Orgy to start. I think a lot of the team believes in Orgy more than Davis Warren. And I know people are going to say, well, they're not the coaches. Yeah, they're the players. They're the ones out there putting their body on the line, buckethead. So that's the difference. If part of the team wants the other guy, then it messes things up. Now, I could be wrong. I think it's true though. I think a lot of the team wanted Orgy to be the starter. I think they believe in what he can bring to the table more than Davis Warren. Because if you're just giving me 100 yards passing, you ain't really doing nothing. We can find a way to manufacture that. Like, come on. But that's the thing about the offense. Get on track, show some consistency, and I'd really like to see some better route trees. Like the route trees have been garbage for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, just honestly, like, and I know this is a game, a video game, but like, if Michigan's playbook on the video game is what is similar to what it is in real life, I understand why these dudes don't be getting open like that, and why they don't get to run, catch the ball in space, and continue to get yards after catch, because it's the playbook ain't designed for them to. You know what I'm saying? But you got to stretch the field. Stretch the field. Get guys out of the box. See what you got downfield. Like, you didn't even try a deep ball against Texas. Like, something that you should have been trying to do. Use this game to find some guys that can really help you. Get Omarion Walker in. If we've been seeing guys that's been playing and they ain't been giving you much, put in somebody that has talent but needs a chance. At this point, right now, you need to be seeing, all right, let me see if somebody's a dog. Because you can find a dog on the bench where you're like, well, in practice, he didn't look that good. Then you put him in the game, and you're like, oh, I might have found something, because practice ain't the game. Everybody don't play well in practice. Some guys are just game day ballers. Other guys look great in practice, and then in the game, they look like boo-boo. You get what I'm saying? So you got to find out who's the dogs on offense. Who's on that bench that might be a dog. And it don't matter if he's a freshman or senior or whatever. If that young dude is a dog and he's better than that senior, sit that senior down. We at that point. We at that point. I'm sorry. Yep, we are. So you got to figure it out. You got to figure out who's that and who can be the real difference maker. Jordan Marshall, he needs carries in. He needs carries. He might be ready to contribute right now and might be one of the best backs on the team. Put him in, see what he can do. It's time to see what some of these young dudes that y'all refuse to play can do. The old guys ain't giving you that much. So let's see if you can find some other pieces to help this offense and help this team win. Because this offense is trash. It is trash. Y'all look like y'all don't know what you doing. Kirk Campbell. Ugh. So that's just what it is right now. Try to get back on track with this offense before Big Ten play. But you need to find who else can help you contribute. Who else can contribute? You get what I'm saying? Like, because right now it don't look like you really know. You know, nobody's distinguished themselves. So, in my mind, that means we got to look at other players that haven't been playing that much to find out who's hungry, who don't care what's going on. They just want to eat. Find me some dogs. I don't want to hear no senior. Oh, he's a senior. Well, he ain't playing good. Sit him down. Time to find some dogs on offense for at least. Now, with the defense going against Arkansas State, Arkansas State's quarterback, what's his name? Jalen Raynor. Jalen Raynor, they run him a lot. Like, they'll run him 15, 19, 20 times a game. And he can throw it all right. He's about 50%, but they'll run him 18, 19 times a game. And then they run their running back about 20 times a game. What's his name? Zach Wallace. They'll run Zach Wallace. Now, their run game isn't like that, but they'll stay committed to trying to run it. At least what the first couple games they have. Now their leading receiver Corey Rucker, he's kind of a stud. He's got big play potential. Now you could say, well, they're Arkansas State. Well, dudes can make plays wherever they are. You know what I'm saying? You just have to find out. Some guys will make run a great route and then they'll miss the catch because the game is too big. Other guys, they've been waiting for this moment. This is my chance to put some NFL film. This is my chance to put some good film on Will Johnson or Jair Hill or Amir Hall. You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But the defense should be able to clamp them down. But this is a good game for Wink to iron out kinks, get back to fundamentals, get back to tackling well, and get this defense back where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Because what he was doing against Texas, that ain't Jesse Minter's defense. That ain't Mike McDonald's defense. I think Wink likes to say he's the OG. Yeah, you're the OG, but your proteges perfected that system. They perfected it. That's the thing. They perfected your system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you made it, but we found out what you were, the little things that you were doing wrong, and we perfected it. So, yeah, you're the OG, but you didn't perfect the system. Looks like Jesse Minter did at this point, or Mike McDonald. But so that's the thing. Like, I wish Wink would have talked to those dudes, because it's obvious he didn't talk to Jesse about it. He just thinks he's Wink, so it's his system. I created it. It's me. Like, and I was thinking about this earlier in the day, and somebody on my live actually brought it up because I had forgot. we were doing all those. I was doing all those calls, and I forgot. But twists and stunts is what the defense feasted off of last year. Twists and stunts. I don't know if I saw one yesterday. I don't know if I saw him do a twist or a stunt once at all yesterday. And that was the staple of what made that defense good last year. That was one of the staples. Twists, stunts, disguising what you want to do. That was it. Bend but don't break. Bend but don't break. So a lot of stuff on the defense I'm looking at, and all the this don't just go for the Wink. This goes for the assistant coaches too. I'm looking at the linebackers. How are they doing? I'm looking at the D-line. I'm looking at the safeties. I'm looking at the corners, because I saw too many times where, let's say Quinn Ewers throws a 6-yard hitch. Well, he hasn't even thrown it yet. The tight end is out there on a hitch, but he's just standing there. Quinn hasn't got it to him yet. He's just standing there. I'm seeing Jair Hill. I'm seeing other players that are about 5-6 yards away from him. They're not. He's sitting right there. Why aren't you running up on him? So when Quinn does try to make that throw, it's a pick. You can pick it. What are you just sitting there for? He's the only dude there for you. Run up. He shouldn't be comfortable to make that throw. You're just standing there watching the dude. Like he's sitting there stagnant like this, waiting. The ball ain't even been thrown yet. He's just standing there. And y'all just looking at him like. And then when he does throw it, you still don't fire up and make the tackle. Like, this defense looks like a total different defense. I'm sorry, y'all. When I talk about the defense, because if you've been watching me, I get real passionate about defense. And this ain't it. We got too many good players for that defense to have looked like that yesterday. I'm sorry. So Wink needs to go back to the drawing board a little bit. You do. You need to simplify it. And if I was you, I'd be on the phone with Jesse Minter as soon as possible. If you smart, he might not care. He might be like, well, this is a bag. I got my bag. If I get fired, I go retire and move back to Florida, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I hate that. I hate that because when you do this, when you have guys out of position and you do dumb stuff on defense, especially, you just hurting them players. You hurting their draft stocks. You hurting their dreams. Like you just hurting them players. That's all you doing. You hurting them players. You's too stubborn for your scheme. You care about your scheme more than you care about them players. Same thing with Don Brown. Yep, it's that time. Same thing with him. You care about that scheme, trying to prove that you're right when it's obvious you're not. You care more about that than Jair Hill. You care more about that than Makari Page. You care more about that than Zeke Berry. You care more about that than Mason Graham. You care more about that than Kenneth Grant. You care more about that than Josiah Stewart. More about that than Ernest Hausman. Than Barham. That you care more about that scheme and proving you're right about something than modeling that scheme about what you got on defense. And trying to understand what they did last year and trying to keep it the same. Jesse Minter had the number one defense. If I'm him, anyone with smarts that don't think that they're the greatest thing out here would have said, okay, this dude is a monster. He had the number one defense, and they were killing it. I'm gonna pick his brain. I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing nothing. Why would I change something that's already perfect? If I come from the same system, why would I change it? If it's already perfect. But you want to change something. I haven't seen a defense like that. I know this done got off track, but I haven't seen a defense look that confused. And this is the thing about defense, and this is the thing about football. You can't play fast and physical if you're confused. And those dudes were confused about what they were doing most of the time. Yeah, sometimes it was just on them not making a play, but if you're confused, you're going to always look out of position. You're always going to be a step slow because you're confused. You're thinking. Football, you can't think. You have to react because everything happens just like that. One little hesitation, boom, you're beat. One little sidestep, one little looking the wrong way, you're beat. And if you watch the game, you could tell those guys weren't confident in what they were doing. It's just a fact. When a defense is flying around, that's because they know what they're doing. When it always looks like they're a second slow, they're confused. They don't know what they're doing. Guys out of position, misaligned, don't know who to get when the guy goes in motion. Not prepared, confused, bewildered. That's on you, Wink, and them assistant coaches. I put y'all all in there. It don't matter to me. I just want the results because you've got plenty of players that have shown over years that they're good, maybe even great. But now they look out of sorts. What's the common denominator for that? Oh, it's you. So I'm looking at you sideways. So you need to do whatever you have to do to get this defense to be good again. You got to do whatever you got to do to have this defense good. And the offense has to help you out to play complementary football so you're not back on the field in a minute. But you gotta understand that you can't have these guys confused out there or they'll never play as fast as you want them to be. That's just what it is. Like Arkansas State, you should destroy this team. We should destroy this team. And if we don't, then that just tells me it's going to be a long Big Ten schedule because they're not on the same. They don't know how to execute on offense or defense consistently. When you blow somebody out, that's because you're out executing them. You're forcing them to make turnovers. You're forcing them to make mistakes. And then you're just out executing them on offense. You get what I'm saying? So if this score should be 40-10 or something like that, 40-3, 40-6. If it's not close to that, we got problems. If it's not at least 30-37, like you got to get up there to see some real consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do it, or this. If you don't look good on offense and defense this game, it's going to be a long Big Ten schedule because Big Ten play, them teams been waiting on Michigan. Minnesota been waiting on Michigan. Michigan State been waiting on Michigan. Illinois been waiting on Michigan. I know Illinois still mad from 2022 when we snuck out when we were in Illinois and we snuck out with the dub. You know what I'm saying? Some of these teams been waiting. Oh, I can knock off the champs? That's a big time win. So you best get it. I'm talking this way because Big Ten teams ain't going to be scared. They're not going to be scared of Michigan, and they're going to have the guys that can make the plays too. You get what I'm saying? They're not going to be afraid. Like a Fresno was dropping touchdowns and stuff like that. Big Ten players, they're going to make those plays. You get what I'm saying? On offense and defense. If you can't throw like that, Big Ten, they play defense, and if a quarterback is boo-boo, they're gonna eat him up. It's just a fact. So you got to get back on board and show some fight and show some heart, show some execution, show some discipline, and show some physicality in this game right here. On offense, I got to see some execution. I don't care how you move the ball, just move it. If you move it through the air, that's great. If you run it down they throw for 300, okay, let's get it. But I need to see some real execution and a plan. But if Davis Warren is boo-boo, sit him down. What is that, your son? What you prime time now? If he garbage, sit him down. What are you supposed to be, Shador? Get the out of here. If he bad, sit him down. Or the administration is going to sit you down, bro. Don't mess this up. God. So, that's just a fact. If he garbage, sit his butt down. Wink, bro, you got plenty of pieces on defense. There's no excuse for you. If the defense is struggling, that's just you getting in your own way. That's all it is. If the defense is struggling, that's just you getting in your own way. It is. You know, you didn't do your homework on what made Jesse Minter that good in college. He that dude. So you didn't do your homework because it looked like you ain't running barely any of that stuff that he was doing. So I need to see on both sides of the ball executing, guys knowing what they have to do so we can go into USC, go play USC and have some type of semblance that we can actually win that game. If that offense comes out looking garbage again like it did the first 2 weeks against Arkansas State, it's a wrap, y'all. The defense is going to have to be great, and what Wink has showed, it might not be great. You get what I'm saying? So, that's the thing. I was banking on this season that the defense was going to be great. But this dude, and shout out to Garrison and everybody else that said Wink ain't that. You got it. You got it. Yeah, so that's what I got for this one, y'all. I know I done ranted a lot about Texas, but this game is about getting on track. The offense hasn't been on track at all year, so please, if you may, you know, but Wink has to simplify that defense, and he really needs to talk to Jesse Minter and implement some of the things that he was doing, because he's not doing it. And it showed up against Texas. It really did. So get back on track. Blow Arkansas State's doors off and show some fight. Put some good film on if Davis Warren, or especially Davis Warren, if you can. Put some good film out there. Stretch the field if you can. If not, USC, when we play USC, they're gonna be have them dudes sitting on all that little stuff. They're gonna be sitting on that stuff, and they're gonna feast. Because they running our scheme on defense. So, and not the OGs, the youngsters that are perfecting this scheme. You get what I'm saying? The youngsters, Mike McDonald, Jesse, Dan Lynn, I think that's his name, USC's defensive coordinator. They're perfecting the scheme. You started it, they're perfecting it. These dudes are perfecting it and getting head coaching jobs off of it. You see, you notice the difference? You losing your jobs in the NFL. Mike McDonald, he head coach now. Jesse Minter, he probably will be a head coach in probably 2 years or something. Maybe a year. It don't take that long. You know what I'm saying? And the same with USC's defensive coordinator. They done perfected what you created. You know what I'm saying? So, this was a lot. I mean, I just hope they At least dominate Arkansas State, y'all. Like, come on. These like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.